Hey guys, this is Ackley SamAttack4427 here with another special video for all of you guys, and honestly, I think this is something that's probably been on my mind very recently, that I do kind of thought that I would actually make this video hung for sure. And I mean, I guess it's no big surprise because, well, probably by the time I'm recording this video, I already filmed an egg in my latest What the Pickup episode earlier today, to which, by the way, for those who actually tuned into that episode, thank you so much for that. It really does mean a whole lot for sure. But I guess ever since pretty much I uploaded my latest episode on my brand new DVD and Blu-ray player, which I'm really happy to get. Something's actually big on my mind for sure, and that being, of course, on the one thing I actually really do love talking about on this channel, and that being, of course, well, movies for sure. Now, I made it no secret that if you actually have stuck around with this channel for some time, you would definitely know that the good majority of the videos I put out were normally my reviews and stuff on the latest movies that would actually come out for sure. Hell, I dare even say I've actually devoted all of my thoughts videos, of course, this channel devoted to mainly pretty much putting up my reviews on the latest movies that I actually get to see on the big screen for sure. Now that's actually a really big deal, of course, that front, and yeah, I guess it is such a big deal because, well, I actually do have a very strong love for movies for sure, particularly whenever I see the latest one that would actually come out onto the big screen for sure. And that's actually something that I really love ever since I was a little kid. I would usually go out to a movie theater and actually catch the latest movie on the big screen, whether it be with, of course, pretty much my friends, my family, my girlfriend, well, only I guess one time on, of course, that front, or by myself entirely. I always have a great time seeing the latest movie on the big screen for sure. It is actually something really quite great entirely, and I'm pretty sure a lot of others actually felt the same way for sure. But of course, there is something that I do need to address, of course, on my front, and trust me when I say I've held myself back from, of course, making this video for some time, but I felt the need that I need to actually talk about this one for sure. And now, I guess when I actually catch the latest film that would actually be released onto the big screen for sure, yeah, it does kind of differ entirely, and I don't mean just the different movie that I would actually go see for sure. I mean, of course, whenever I go to the theater to see the latest film on the big screen for sure, it does, the experience can sometimes differ for sure. Sometimes I would get something very positive and upbeat and is exactly what I'm looking for. But other times it can actually be pretty negative for sure. And I guess on the latter, which I'm actually talking about, there is actually one thing that I know I'm not alone on, of course, this one. There will be times where a lot of people will actually go to the movie theater and actually just to pass the time. Yeah, they didn't pay attention to, of course, the movie in particular for sure. No, they actually want to waste their time in the theater just talking out loud, pretty much be on their cell phone and entirely being, yeah, all those type of things, just to name me a few, just to be rude and obnoxious entirely, which makes you actually want to feel with so much frustration and anger for sure. Now, you think I might be a king, of course, at that front, but trust me when I say I'm not for sure. And again, I know I am not alone on, of course, this subject matter for sure, because, yeah, throughout my times actually seeing the latest film that would actually be released onto the big screen for sure, there are several times I will have to say that there will, of course, be a good number of people that would actually go into the movie theater and not obey the rules entirely, and they would just be talking out loud entirely, be on their cell phone, being rude and obnoxious to all the other people that are there. Yeah, I mean, no secret that, personally, of course, my friend, I hate it when that actually happens for sure, and every single time I actually want to pretty much see the movie in silence, someone would come along and actually try to ruin that experience, and I'm pretty much filled with pretty much the most amount of frustration and anger that's building inside of me that I just want to go up to that person and practically explode right in front of them. And trust me, I have my fair share with, of course, pretty much with all the hang up for sure, and not to mention, I know I'm not alone, of course, at that front for sure. I hate it when stuff like that actually happens whenever I actually go see a movie on the big screen. Now you might be wondering to yourself, well, if that's the case, why can't you just pretty much leave so that way it won't annoy you anymore? Well, I think that would be the case, but if I were to actually do that, then I think that I would have actually wasted all of my time and money actually getting me to, of course, the movie that I want to see for sure, because if anything, sometimes screens here in the United States, let alone in different states in this country for sure, does actually are usually differing from what I can gather. Like, of course, I know California is, of course, pretty much the main state, or at least Los Angeles, let alone Hollywood, is the main hub for, of course, movies for sure, and sometimes with, of course, their screens entirely, whether it be for the press or anything else for sure, it is actually completely silent, and a lot of people are actually respectful for it, so... To which, yeah, I have to say is actually quite impressive for sure, and trust me when I say if I was in California right now, I think I would have actually had those kind of screens for myself, almost like I'm actually in heaven for sure. But here in New York, it is actually quite different for sure. Sure, yeah, you'll still get pretty much... the regular old screens that are nice and quiet entirely, and you're left with just experiencing the movie just for what it is. To which, yeah, you'll definitely get that, but there are times that a lot of people would actually pretty much still come in and actually ruin the experience entirely, and I know a lot of people in other states are definitely not alone, of course, that front, So yeah, I guess if anything, annoying moviegoers really do bug the hell out of me for sure, almost like I actually want to practically pretty much get up to their face and constantly rant on how much they're being rude and obnoxious when all I'm doing is trying to see the movie in complete silence and darkness. Nothing much else. But yeah. It does bug the hell out of me, I don't know, and it does get me frustrated and angry for sure. But again, I know I'm not alone, of course, that front for sure, so yeah, I think that's what I could say, of course, that front. Now, to clarify, of course, what I actually mean by all that, I think it makes sense for me to share maybe, I guess, a few experiences I had in the past whenever I actually see a movie on the big screen for sure. And trust me, I think it actually does kind of, yeah, it actually is quite different when you really think about it for sure. But I am going to try my best to actually get through it regardless for sure. So yeah, that's of course what I'm going to be doing entirely, just giving you guys a few bits experiences that I actually have with this subject matter for sure, as best I can for sure, just to see what I mean for sure. Now, for starters, I think I might as well pretty much start off with, of course, pretty much the first one I had, and it's going all the way back well over 9 years ago when my mom and I actually went to see Disney's live-action remake of Cinderella. Now I make no secret that if you actually have seen one of my family movie collaboration reviews in the past, hell, I dare even say one of them is, of course, my old crossover review that I did with my girlfriend, Casamelli, on that said movie for sure, to which, honestly, is actually a really, yeah, even though it is actually quite old for sure, it's still actually one of the one reviews that I did during the show's time around for sure, that I have to say I'm actually really quite impressed by for sure. I'm really glad I got to do it with, of course, my girlfriend, and I guess if anything, I actually do like that said movie entirely, and even looking back on that said film after I got alongside the original in a nice 2-movie pack Blu-ray that I currently have, I do surprisingly like it. I mean, not on par as the original film, but I do think it's actually a really good movie, so yeah, I think it was around the time the film actually first came out in theaters, and my mom and I actually decided to go check it out and see what it's like, and it is actually a really good movie for sure, and we were really impressed on how well it actually turned out. But, of course, during the whole screening entirely, yeah, I think it's not just me and my mom. There were a bunch of families and kids as well that were also there for sure. Now, you might be saying to yourself, yeah, what's the big deal, of course, at that front? I mean, it's just a bunch of kids actually going to see the same movie as you are, so where's the problem actually kick in? Well, I guess, believe it or not, now I'm not against the idea of having kids go see a movie entirely. Oh, no, I think it's actually a really good way to, of course, experience to see on what a movie is like on their perspective. Sometimes their experience actually turn out well, but other times not so much, for sure. But, of course, where the problem with that actually comes around is that during the entire time, everything from what's going on, from, of course, when the trailers actually first played to, of course, the short Frozen Fever before the movie actually played for sure, to even the entire movie itself, pretty much there were constant enough of kids and stuff just doing nothing but talking and talking just pretty much throughout the entire time for sure, and it didn't actually stop for sure, but yeah, constantly given to what I'm actually seeing, it is actually quite annoying entirely, and I remember, I think my mom was, of course, sitting right beside me for sure, and given to, of course, the disturbance going on while the movie is actually playing, I can tell she's pretty much on the verge to practically blow up and actually demand the theater itself to be quiet for sure. And I wouldn't blame them entirely, yeah, and I wouldn't blame her entirely for sure, because, yeah, if I was actually in that situation, I would have been as well. But, of course, throughout the entire time, I did try my best to calm her down, just so that we could still continue on with the movie for sure, because, yeah, I'm pretty sure the last thing we want is, of course, my mom to start screaming and yelling at the kids to the point where they be pretty much upset and start crying for sure, to the point where pretty much their parents would actually spew out some angry words right in front of us. Hell, maybe even some swear words entirely, and demand that we should just leave for sure. I mean, if that's the case, then what's the excuse for having your kids actually show up and not do the same thing for sure? Yeah, kind of my point, actually, so. But nevertheless, I kept my mom completely calm throughout the entire screening, and we still pressed on, seeing the movie as normal, and yeah, the movie itself actually did turn out pretty good for sure, and yeah, even looking back nowadays, I do think it's actually a really good movie for sure, but But I do agree that I do prefer the original Cinderella looking back on it now, but still actually a good one, so yeah, that's actually one good example, of course, why I'm actually referring to for sure. Now, of course, the next two from Why King Gather for sure, I think it was right around earlier this decade for sure, both of which are actually 2 years apart from each other for sure, and but I guess if anything, I think that's pretty much why I can say, of course, on that front for sure, and now, of course, for the next experience that I had, I think we might as well dive all the way back to 2021 for sure, where, of course, I actually went down to a Regal Cinemas down in Binghamton to actually catch pretty much another Disney film that came out around that time, which was, of course, Jungle Cruise, to which, yeah, I think I still thought it was an okay flick from What I Can Gather. Not really anything that grand or special or anything, but a decent flick nevertheless. But hey, I'm pretty sure my thoughts video that I did all those years ago will actually give out pretty much much more detail, of course, on why I thought about that for sure. But if anything, I might as well talk about my experience that I had while I was actually there for sure. Now it's actually nothing too complicated from what I Can Gather. Yeah, I actually did show up there entirely just to catch the movie for sure. To which, yeah, I guess while I was there, again, I think there were some pretty much some parents and some little kids that were actually there. Now, I guess you might be saying to yourself, wait, parents actually bringing little kids to a Jungle Cruise movie? A movie that is actually rated PG-13? Yeah, I know, kind of odd for sure, so... But hey, maybe I assume they dig it because they actually really love anything revolving around Disney for sure, so... So yeah, I think part of me could have wished they could have actually... gone for another screening of Peter Rabbit 2 from What I Can Gather, but no, apparently a few families and kids that were there went to see Jungle Cruise for sure. To which, yeah, I do find it surprisingly quite odd for sure. I mean, yeah, like I said, the movie is rated PG-13, and we have a bunch of little kids that are not over the age of 13 actually show up there for sure. I mean, wow. But I guess enough about that guy. Yeah, I guess give it to all the that. I actually still want to pursue Aga for sure and actually see the movie for sure. But remember what I actually said during my experience when I saw the live-action Cinderella remake, where, of course, there was nothing but constant talking throughout the... pretty much from the kids without any signs of stopping anytime soon? Well, I guess the same thing actually happened again for sure. Yeah, pretty much all throughout, throughout the trailers to pretty much all the way through the entire movie, there were just constant talking entirely, and of course, pretty much of anything. Probably, I guess the only difference this time is that I think the parents from What I Can Gather did try to shush them for a bit to actually try to get them to stop, to which actually does, yeah, is actually quite nice of those parents who do that, to which I do applaud them for actually taking a note on that. But, of course, every single time that they would actually follow through on that, it actually keeps on going for sure, and yeah, while I was there, I can tell, I think I was clenching hard to my seat while I was seeing the movie. Almost like my anger is actually boiled over to me for sure. Almost like I'm ready to explode entirely. But another side of me actually pretty much told myself, please keep calm, keep calm. You pay money to see this movie, and you're going to give yourself... pretty much give out a review on this movie once you get done seeing it. Just press on. And I did. I actually listened to my inner instincts in me, and despite my pretty much my anger boiling up inside of me, I pressed on as normal and actually saw the movie in its entirety. And I think from what I can remember, when I was hanging out of the movie theater, waiting to be picked up by my mom to pretty much get myself home, I actually do recall one of the one of the families that were there. I believe one of them was, of course, have two little daughters from what I could gather. I think I do hear they were pretty much the parents were disciplining their little daughters entirely, telling them that what they're doing is, of course, pretty much against the rules. You're not supposed to talk during a movie theater, to which, yeah, I don't blame the parents entirely for sure. Yeah, I think, if anything, I do kind of wish I would have actually stepped in for sure and actually tell them what is actually going on from my perspective for sure, but of course I didn't actually minded my own business as normal and actually pretty much started typing away on, of course, on my review on and what I thought about this movie, on what I thought about the movie entirely, so... But, of course, it is what I can gather, of course, on my front, but hey, Jungle Cruise I still think is actually a pretty decent flick in my opinion, but yeah, that constant, pretty much that experience I had while I was seeing the movie, yeah, it was actually really annoying from what I can gather for sure, and yeah, I think that's probably what I could say, of course, that front. But for my third and final experience that I want to share, it actually did happen well over a year ago when I actually went to Crown City Cinemas to check out another Disney live-action remake that I actually got to see, and that being, of course, The Little Mermaid. And again, if you want a little bit more details on what I thought about it, definitely go watch my thoughts video on that Sega movie to see on what I thought about it for sure. Now, of course, if anything, pretty much my experience seeing the movie entirely is still what it is entirely. I still got what I expect, and of course, this movie to which I still have to admit, Halle Bailey seeing part of your world. Still, actually did shed a tear in my eye. I actually did get myself a really good cry after hearing that. It was actually really good for sure. Unlike other things in that Sega movie that were just average at best, just plain bad from what I could gather. But again, my thoughts video on that Sega movie will explain what I thought about it for sure. But during the entire screening of course, that movie for sure, there was that one kid that is like in the different section of the theater right across the aisle from me. Yeah, with of course their family entirely. That actually did see the movie for sure, and the best from what I could gather, pretty much that one little kid, I think it was probably about like 3 or 4 years old from what I can gather. Yeah, pretty much if anything, it was a constant noise from what I can gather for sure. Like, of course, just pretty much talking out loud after during certain parts of the movie. And I remember right when we actually got to the part with Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, seeing Poor Unfortunate Souls. Pretty much that kid from what I could gather was pretty much crying constantly, just screaming and crying just throughout that time. And I was like, oh my god, like, who allowed this? Who allowed this to actually happen for sure? I mean, really? Yeah, I mean the adults, let alone the caretakers of that kid, they're right beside them for sure. Can't they just do something about it? Well, at some parts, all they did from what I could gather is that they were actually telling the kid to hush up and just be quiet during the movie, and again, that was it. They didn't do anything else from what I could gather. But probably, I think, the biggest insult by far is that I do remember that the kid was, of course, complaining that he wants to go to the bathroom because I do felt that maybe I think... you know, so But yeah, I do remember the kid wanting to go to the bathroom, but believe it or not, the adults who were the caretakers of that kid around that time, I kid you not when I actually say they didn't allow that. Yeah, every single time the kid actually said that he wanted to go to the bathroom at certain parts while the movie is actually playing, the parents or the caretakers of that kid refused to do that and just watch the movie. I mean, really? That's the best that you can do entirely? And I do remember when I was actually hanging out of the movie theater after I managed to pretty much get my refill of popcorn once the movie is over and actually meet up with, of course, my parents just so that I can head on home while, of course, I'm writing up my review on that said movie. I remember pretty much one of the caretakers actually was literally trying, I looked out the window of course, the movie theater and actually saw one of the caretakers pretty much changing the little kid's diaper out in an open field right next to the parking lot where lots of other people are at. I mean, like, dude, really? How low can you actually get with, of course, this one? And I do recall with the movie theater that I was at, still have mad respects for Crown City Cinemas as always, but again, there are bathrooms at the movie theater, and I do believe they do have changing stations while they're at that place for sure. Where again, you can actually change the little kids' diapers. Is it really that hard? But yeah, that experience from what I can gather, that is of course my boiling point for sure, and of course, during my time actually seeing the movie, and like I said, I did do my best to be calm and relaxed for sure. Remember the inner instincts I had when I actually mentioned my experience with, of course, pretty much when I saw Jungle Cruise a few years ago? Well, part of me almost want to be like George from Seinfeld and actually screaming anger pretty much on what those people were doing during that said screening. And if you want a good example of course what I'm actually talking about, I'll refer to you with of course this clip from Seinfeld just to see what I mean.
Hey baby, how about a little tongue action, huh?
Yeah, stick your tongue down his throat.
What are we gonna do? Should we just move?
It won't be necessary.
Shut your trunks and stop kicking the seats! We're trying to watch the movie! And if I have to tell you again, we're gonna take it outside and I'm gonna show you what it's like! You understand me?
Now shut your mouths or I'll shut them for you. And if you think I'm kidding, just try me. Try me. Because I would love it!
So yeah, I guess that clip alone is, of course, one good example of one thing I could have actually done if I would have listened to my inner experience, or my inner instincts for sure. I would have just gone up out of my seat and actually pretty much go over to that family right across the aisle from me and actually scream in anger at the top of my lungs, "Are you fucking kidding me? I had to come all the way out here to see this movie in silence without any interference whatsoever, and you guys had to come in and ruin the entire experience. You people make me sick. Sick, I tell you." I would have gotten my stuff and I would have left. Just like that. But I would have actually, I wouldn't actually stop there. I would have actually gone up and actually talked to the manager, of course, pretty much what's going on entirely, and give them my side of the story for sure, and yeah, that sort of stuff to see on what they could have done for sure. But yeah, that's something I should have done entirely, but yeah, I guess you could probably tell that if anything, those are, of course, good examples from what I can gather for sure. Yeah, I always hate it when pretty much whenever I actually go see a movie on the big screen, it has to be ruined by, of course, some people that would actually pretty much do nothing but not listen to the rules during a movie theater and actually talk very loudly while the movie is playing, be on their cell phones and stuff, and kicking the seats for sure. And that's just to name me a few to be rude and obnoxious for sure. I really hate when stuff like this actually happen for sure, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone, of course, this subject matter for sure. But yeah, if you think a good number of adults would actually be rude and obnoxious for sure whenever a movie is playing at the movie theater, well, they're nothing compared to the kids for sure that would, of course, not have any idea on what you're supposed to do during a movie theater for sure. So yeah, that's, of course, what I actually can say, of course, that front for sure. And I know during my years, when I was a kid, when I actually go see a movie for sure, yeah, I will admit I was actually like that for sure. But as time progresses and I actually start to grow older and actually start maturing for sure, and actually pretty much actually understand everything going on in the movie theater for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, I did allow time pass and, of course, let my maturity catch up with me for sure. And yeah, nowadays, from what I can gather, I'm actually very kind and respectful whenever I actually go to a movie theater to actually see a movie on the big screen for sure. And that's something that I still keep up with even to this day for sure. Yeah, and of course, it's still actually going on from what I can gather, and of course, given to my videos in the past, and even my thoughts videos for sure, I actually really do love whenever I actually go to a movie theater to see a movie. Hell, I dare even say I still have a very strong relationship with the people at Crown City Cinemas, as always, whenever I actually go see a movie on the big screen for sure, so. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I can say on, of course, that front for sure. And of course, if anything, we do know back in the old days, before the movie would actually start for sure, they would always play these pre-show warning videos, pretty much letting you know, hey, be quiet during the movie, silence your cell phones, and be kind and courteous to others while you're there for sure. But nowadays, it seems like those pre-shows, pre-show warning videos right before the movie actually plays are just not existing anymore, and why is that? Well, I guess a lot of people may actually think that pretty much if anything, maybe I think they must have took those away because a good number of people might have already got the idea, of course, what they're trying to do for sure, and have those phase out entirely. Well, if that's the case, then I don't think they're fully aware of course, plenty of other people that want to be rude and obnoxious whenever they actually go to a movie for sure, just going there to pass the time and not even focusing on the main movie entirely. So I do think pretty much these pre-show warning videos that would play right before the movie starts, I do think they do need a massive comeback for sure, because really think about it for sure. If that actually does come back into play entirely, then people will still get the idea regardless for sure, and actually understand what you need to do during the movie theater. So So yeah, pretty much all the stuff that I actually mentioned, pretty much be kind and courteous to other people, silence your cell phones, don't kick the seats, and do not disturb the other people seeing the movie that you're about to see. All those and more, they're just they're all basic rules, and that's all you have to do. So yeah, and of course, one thing that I actually did mention while I was at Crown City Cinemas is that, I guess you guys remember when I actually made my videos for Access to Independence of Cortland County? Well, truth be told, if I would have ended up doing a video project for, of course, Crown City Cinemas, I think I would have actually pretty much done something in a little bit of a style of course, the pretty much the old pre-show warning videos, but with a nice little, pretty much a nice little new additions here or there, like of course, pretty much either me or anyone else would be like, hello, welcome to Crown City Cinemas, and thank you so much for coming to see the movie you're about to see, and of course, pretty much, if anything, on top of all that, alongside providing some, pretty much some unique stuff that you'll do, and even some nice concessions, but also some, pretty much some rules as well, like, of course, please turn off your cell phone while you're there, and, of course, don't kick the seats, or, of course, set your foot on, of course, any of the seats entirely, and of course, the pretty much whole please do not disturb and be quiet with other people that are seeing the movie as you. Yeah, all that good stuff, that's something I would actually do if I were to do a video project for Crown City Cinemas for sure, but then again, that's just my wishful thinking for sure. Now, if anything, if that does become a reality, would I actually try to actually pretty much make that for them? Actually, yeah, I definitely would if I was given the opportunity, pretty much from Crown City Cinemas themselves to actually make that kind of a pre-show that they would actually put on right before the movie starts. I would definitely do that for sure, but of course, I'm not the judge on, of course, that front. They'll have to decide on, of course, on that front for sure, but really think about it for sure. If they would have brought those back, then the number of pretty much moviegoers that would have been rude and obnoxious and annoying during each movie for sure, that would have been reduced down from what I could gather, and we can actually have a much more thrilling experience seeing the movie on the big screen. But yeah, I think that's what I can say, of course, that front, and I think it will definitely save a lot of people being absolutely angry when stuff all that happened to finally be calm and relax and actually see the movie for themselves for sure. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot more experiences from what I could gather that I have with, of course, annoying moviegoers for sure. But there are other times, from what I could gather, when I would actually see the movie on the big screen, and I would actually experience pretty much other audience members giving out different reactions, but of course on a much more positive route for sure, but those three that I actually can mention for sure, those are of course what I can gather for sure. But I do know changes need to happen with, of course, what's going on with movie theater chains for sure. And hey, I guess if anything, to any of the people running the movie theaters entirely, if this is the massive problem we're all dealing with, actually do something about it for sure. Like, of course, yeah, if you actually spot someone being rude and obnoxious entirely, yeah, and of course, the one audience member actually experienced that for sure and actually couldn't take it anymore, definitely take up on, of course, what they're hearing from their side of the story and actually see it behind pretty much kicking them out of the theater because of their rude behavior for sure. But that's something I definitely want to see pretty much happening anytime soon, but hey, we'll definitely wait and see, of course, when that'll actually come around for sure, But those are, of course, why I can gather for sure. But hey, as long as, of course, we can make some massive changes for sure to actually get ourselves going for sure, we can still have a much more pleasant movie experience by seeing the movie on the big screen. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and I must ask all of you guys, do you have any experiences where you actually see a movie on the big screen only to be ruined by some rude, obnoxious, and annoying moviegoers that went to see the movie as you did? Let me know in the comment section below. I definitely want to hear your stories for sure, and if you want me to talk about maybe a few more experiences, of course, that subject matter, also let me know as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and well, I guess in case you're wondering, I'll go, well, actually talk about for the next movie that I'll actually go see for sure. I already do have a couple in mind. I think hopefully if I'm lucky, I'm gonna get some things to figure out. I am gonna be slated to see 2 movies that are actually coming out this weekend, which are Spy Family Code White and Abigail. So yeah, hopefully if I get some things to figure out, I'll be sure to go see them and let you guys know on what I thought about them for sure. But until that actually comes around, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyAttack427TheThomasFan1 to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyAttack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyAttackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.